guys, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit today about how a metal detector will help you in your life of bottle digging. A lot of people will tell you that a metal detector cannot help you at all when it comes to bottle digging, but I'm here to disagree. They'll say that you can only use a ground penetrating radar or a GPR, but we all know how bulky that is, how expensive it is, and how many of you actually have one of those? Not very many. I know I don't have one. So I'm just going to start off by giving you a little bit of history about the bottles and what bottles you can expect to find. All right, the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is Hutchison style bottles. This bottle right here is called a Hutchison style bottle. You can see the top right here. A lot of people just call them a blob top. All right, the reason it's called a Hutchison style bottle is the stopper that went inside of the bottle. The stopper looked just like this right here. Metal detector's on if y'all can't tell. Stopper looks like this right here. All right, the stopper would have went in the bottle just like this right here. This right here would have had a rubber gasket around it. This loop would have stuck out of the top of the bottle. When it was time to drink your drink, you would have pushed this down into the bottle, which would release the rubber gasket or the rubber seal or washer, which would release your soda where you could drink it. So that's where the Hutchison style bottle came from. Now this was patented in 1879 and it was discontinued in use in 1912. So 1879 to 1912 is the age of bottle that you would be finding, which for me, that's exactly where I want to be here, where I'm at. That stopper could be pushed all the way down inside of the bottle. It may not just be in the neck, it may be all the way inside. You can hear that, that's inside of there. So I actually dug this one in Birmingham. So with that metal or wire stopper being inside of there, that gives you a target to hit with your metal detector. I'm going to let y'all hear what it sounds like. I've got a Fisher F75 set up here. We're going to see what it rings up as. I mean, that's a good solid hit. I've got the sensitivity turned way down too because I'm inside of a metal building. It's reading a solid 40, just to give you an idea. So if you're out in a field and you're metal detected and you have a solid 40 and it's kind of where you've maybe seen a lot of glass that's on top of the ground, then you need to be very cautious when you dig it because you could be digging a glass bottle that's worth a good bit of money. I'm going to give you an example of that. I have a friend that lives in Georgia who's a big bottle digger. He has a really nice 6-foot probe, and he had done some research and found out that there used to be a bottling plant located at this one location. He went out and he probed the entire lot for 6 hours. I mean, until his arms were sore, I'm sure. Didn't find anything. So 2 or 3 days later, guy goes out there with a metal detector. He's swinging the metal detector. He gets a solid signal. He digs it up. It's one of the rarest Hutchison bottles in the state. That's a good example. Now I'm going to give you a second way that you can use a metal detector. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a picture up here where you can see it. Basically, in a bottle dump, you have several layers to your bottle dump. In my previous videos, I've talked about this. Your top layer is going to be your soil. Your next layer is going to be your clay layer, which is your cap layer. When they were through with dumps, they would cap the dump so that none of the stench would come through and they were finished with it. Or sometimes they would even cap it with sand. Okay, so just kind of look for both. Below that layer is what I like to call the iron layer. And that's what I want to talk to you about today with a metal detector. That iron layer is going to be what you use to help you. Below the iron layer is your ash in your bottles. Okay, so your iron layer is above your bottles. That being said, that iron layer can be read at 2 to 3 foot deep with just a common metal detector because of the size of it. The iron layer would be very thin, 6 to 8 inches, but it's going to be over the spread of the entire dump. So it's just going to be like a giant iron signal. Where you're going to want to look for that is close to graveyards, creeks, and low-lying areas. So if you're in those areas and all of a sudden your detector goes nuts, it's reading a huge signal, it won't shut up, and you just keep going, there's a good chance that there's an iron layer below that. So just dig a couple feet and find out what it is. If you hit the iron layer, don't get discouraged. Break through the iron layer and look for the ash below it. So I'll give you a good example of that. I was digging in a common dump here in Birmingham. Everybody had stopped digging at one point. I thought the dump may have continued. This dump was notorious for being 10 foot deep. Obviously, a metal detector is not going to help you at 10 foot deep. You're not going to hit anything. Neither is a bottle probe. But I'll tell you how I used it. I started digging just kind of on a gut feeling that there was something there. We dug for several hours. We started to get tired and burn out, and we didn't think anything was there. Well, we were in the middle of the clay layer that was there, and I got a metal detector, swung it inside of the hole, and lo and behold, it picked up the iron layer. It gave us exactly what we needed, which was hope to continue the hole. We continued the hole, got to the bottom, pulled several bottles out, and for several weeks after that, we pulled 30 or 40 nice, over 100-year-old soda bottles, all pre-1915. Straight sides, Hutchison style. We even pulled a 1910 license plate out of one of the holes. So it just shows you that a metal detector can be used more than what you realize in these circumstances. So I hope this helps y'all, and maybe you can use it to benefit you. If you do, I really hope that you'll share with me what you found, because I'm super curious. If y'all will, if you like this video, please subscribe.